Hey guys, this is Twinkle Star. I'm coming in to show you how I achieved this look. This video is going to be a very detailed video. It's going to be a long one. So again, I want to say, y'all, please watch it to its entirety. I will be telling you exactly how I did everything, even how you do your eyebrows if you have eyebrow hair, because I don't have that much. Anyway, I have everything that I use in this video in the description box down below. And if you have any questions, just comment. And do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, let's get into it, Starlet. Hi, everyone. I'm back in here today to do a full, in-depth tutorial. I'm not going to say it's a tutorial. I may tell you a couple of things that y'all have asked me questions about. And that's about the eyebrows. And I think it's the placement of contour and the concealer. Now, before we even get started on that, I'm going to let you know right now, there are different techniques here on YouTube about where you would place your, where you are to place your concealers. There are different people on here that would say they only put it here and here. There are some people like me that need a fuller coverage because I have pigmentation and I have dark pigmentation here, and I have dark areas around my eyes here and on my eyelids as well. So I'm going to talk about that right now. I'm also a little dark here, plus I have moles everywhere. Okay, anyway, so I place my concealer. That don't mean you have to do that, because some of y'all have just a little shade of darkness under your eyes, and some of you don't have any. So with that being said, I would just, try to figure out my way of placing the concealer on your face. All of y'all do not need that full coverage like I would need, okay? But being that I have dark pigmentation, I put mine in the shape of where my dark pigmentation is. So you'll see me put mine in a V shape, like so, okay? And when I do that, you're gonna see me take it down, and I'm gonna bring it down this way and this way, okay? Then I'm gonna come around here. But as you can see, naturally, excuse the noise, let me fix my chair right. As you can see, naturally, I have darkness, it's like I'm not even tone. So I have a little darkness here. So what I do is I go in and I cover, then I put back, okay? That's what contouring is. That's what the highlighting is and everything. As you can see, I have a light here and I have a light here. The most places you're going to see light hit me is here and here. The average person put their highlight all up here and everything. Light don't hit me there. Light hits me here, down my T-zone, basically. I'm just going to say that. So that's where I highlight it, okay? Let me see what else I'm going to say. I don't have a whole bunch of eyebrow hair like a lot of y'all. Some of you guys have full eyebrows with, y'all go get them arched. That's not a problem. Those are beautiful eyebrows I wished I had. Okay, with that being said, you do not have to fill your natural eyebrows in with a pencil like I do. You can just go through and just flick it, and just put it in there where the thin is at or where you want to be full at. Actually, most of y'all, all y'all have to do if you have eyebrows already, you just need to add your little tail on the end down here. You do not have to do all of the filling in I do here and everything, okay? So I'm going, I'm speaking on it now so that I won't have to say so much about that once I get into doing it, because I may miss it. I may forget it, and I may miss it. Charge it to my mind, not to my heart, okay? And if there are any other questions after that, just ask it down below. I will answer it as soon as I see it pop up. If I'm driving, of course, I can't answer right then, but I will get to your comments, okay? I don't think I'm using anything specifically new. I have a couple of things you haven't seen, but like I said, I have a plethora of eyeshadows, blushes, some of everything. That's all I'm gonna say. So it's a lot of stuff I haven't used on here, but it's a lot of stuff that I go to. Is my everyday go-to thing that I'm going to use. So with that being said, I've already moisturized my face. This morning I used my Laroche-Posay foaming cleanser, and I used my Laroche-Posay what's the name of this? The Roughness smoothing lotion on my skin with urea. I'm a Laroche-Posay person. My dermatologist has me using Laroche-Posay a lot. Here lately, I've been using the Dr. Dennis Gross Extra Strength Daily Pills. I've been using these. I use, since I'm new to it, I only been doing it twice a week. And I can kind of tell the difference. I'm going to tell you that right now already. I've been using it a good 2 weeks, going on 3 weeks. I've been using it, and I can tell that my fine lines here under my eyes, they're not as prominent as they were. And I had, this around here and this up under here because I'm losing weight. So with me losing weight, I noticed me getting kind of wrinkly up under here. So that even is feeling, it's doing better. Of course, I have one side that's puffier than the other, but I was told I just need to do a little manipulation with the, what you call them? The lymph nodes. Say it may be lymph fluid or something. Anyway, I done talked enough. Let's get into this makeup because it's going to be a long video, okay, y'all? So be patient. If you really want to, see everything, you're going to have to watch the whole video, y'all. I noticed that you guys are not watching the entire video. Y'all might just, watch the first part of what concerns you. And I understand, everybody is busy. But if you get a chance, try to watch them all. I try to, in most of my videos, I haven't been explaining everything completely. But I'm going to try to explain everything today completely, like I'm doing now, okay? Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to use for eyebrows today. Oh, see there? I'm jumping ahead of the thing. I'm jumping ahead of the game. I double prime. Like I said, I used the Laroche-Posay Roughness Smoothing Lotion. And I'm going to use my Garnier 3-in-1 Hyaluronic Gel and 3-in-1 Serum Gel with aloe and hyaluronic acid in it. And I only do like 1 or 2 pumps of that. And this will have you like with a tacky feel, like the Hydro Grip, once you use it. And I just put that there and I put it down my T-zone and right up under my eye. Because that's why I need that hyaluronic acid to plump all that area up. What was that? Anyway. And I put it right through here. And whatever I have on there, just spread it out. Okay? You see, I try to avoid my eyebrow area because my pencil does not go on as smooth if I have oils or any type of serum there. Okay. I'm going to try to let that dry down a little bit. My skin feels so smooth. Do y'all take a bath and then when you get out that bathtub and you put your lotions and stuff on and your smell goods on and you just smell yourself every now and then, you get a whiff of that on you and you be like, ooh, I smell good. I don't know, it might just be me. Because I like to smell good all the time, honey. So I'm just wondering. Do y'all do that sometime to yourself? You know, because me, I don't have to have nobody tell me that I'm cute. I'll tell myself. You supposed to tell yourself that you cute and that you pretty today. Because, baby, I can have on a moo-moo, some fuzzy house slippers, and a cup of coffee in my hand, and I think I'm cute. You can't tell me nothing, honey. I think I'm Diana Ross, honey. And living on a $5 budget. Anyway, I'm letting this here dry down a little bit, y'all. Okay. Y'all, I got on me my little t-shirt that says, made in the 70s. Let me see if I can tilt this down for y'all can see. Made in the 70s, honey. Ooh, 70 made, baby. It's a whole different material. Yeah, my hair trying to stand up. I got moisturizer all on it, and it's trying to flip up and curl up and stuff. So you may see few little spriglets sticking up everywhere. They won't lay down. I had it tied down, and I'm not finna tie that down no longer today. That stuff on my head make my head hurt. It make my head hurt. I know some people. I got a friend girl. She can wear her hair tied up all day long. I can't do it, honey. I cannot do it. You gonna have to let me loose. Let me loose. Now, I have the brand new pencil. I got about 7. Because when I go and buy, I buy, honey. Look, I have a brand new pencil, Rubik's Kisses. This one is the dark brown. What I had been using was the black brown one. I really liked that. I didn't realize I liked that much until I saw myself going to it every time you look around. And I noticed that I like them a little bit darker, but hey, I don't have another black brown one. I'm gonna have to go buy me another one over there at that latest place. She gonna talk me to death when I come up in there. Bless her heart. I heard they had to went in there and robbed that lady. Y'all, I'm gonna take my paper towel and I'm just gonna wipe across here just to be on the safe side. I used to do it with alcohol rub or witch hazel, but I don't have any alcohol. Well, I have some alcohol pads, but I don't want to put that on my face. Being that I cleansed my face this morning, and I had to go in and get a few pieces of hair on my eyebrow, and I did the alcohol pad before I put all my moisturizer and stuff on there this morning. Okay. I've seen some people do this and then they're going with powder on their eyebrows. I can't do that. I don't like the way that look. Anyway, we have our eyebrow pencil. And what I do with my eyebrow pencil. This is how I do my eyebrows, okay? Let me get my mirror situated here. I'm going to draw a line from, I'm going to come out further than where I'm going to end up, okay? So what I mean by that, I'm going to start my line, the base of my eyebrow line, about right here, okay? And then I'm going to draw that line, and I'm going to follow how I have my eyebrows. I'm going to follow that line up, and naturally, this is my arch. My arch is right there. You see that mole right there? I follow my moles. So I take my arch, and it starts to go up in this area, and then I bring my line out to about right here, okay? And it's like at an angle from the tip of your eye, okay? The reason why I do that is because when I go in with my concealer, I'm going to take the tip of that off, okay? That's why I do that. Just so that you guys will know I'm not wearing a windshield brow. My eyes are kind of wide, you know, so my eyebrow is going to be here and there, okay? I looked at some brows. I looked at my brows when I was younger, and that's the way my eyebrows are, okay? So with that being said, I'm finna start drawing my brow. See how I did it? I just bring it right on to there, okay? And then when I do my top one, you that have eyebrows on your hair, you don't have to do the top. All you have to do is go in and fill in with lines like so. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it just so you can see it. You just take a few little lines in the front. I'm trying to put my hand so that you can see it. Let me turn a little bit more. You're just gonna take a sharp pencil and you're just gonna flick just light strokes like that. See the little light strokes I'm doing? See them? Let me see if you can see without it blurring. Just little light strokes like so through your hair like that. You might can't see it that well because this pencil is almost the same color as my eyebrow hair. But see how that look already natural right there? That's how you would do it if you have eyebrows, okay? You may not have to use this dark brown. You may have to use like a black brown pencil to do it, okay? And I'm finna go on do my top line, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how to fill in your brow, okay? I start my top line from about right here. And I go up with it. And then I come back down with my line, just like that. Okay? Now, you that have eyebrow hair, this area here, you can do a top line if you want to. Let me say that. I don't want to tell you not to. If you're looking at me doing this and you want to do a top line, you can do a top line. Just don't do it where you can just really, really see it. Because then you'll have to go and cover it up. And you don't want to do that. Okay? And if you have if you have eyebrow hair, your natural eyebrow hair in the top part of your brow hairs go in different directions. The front may go flicked up, and then it may just flick in and upwards that way. And then out here, it right here in this area, it's usually flicking down. If you look at your eyebrow hairs real good, you're gonna come down with a pencil and flick it down. And then you're going to come back up and out. And then you just take it and you just fill in your end, just like so. And then when you go in with your concealer, all you're doing is going back, shaping up what you already put down. Now, if you make a mistake, like right here, I consider this a mistake. Y'all may not. I came down with my pencil a little bit right there. So all I'm going to do is when I go in, I'm going to overcompensate with my concealer and I'm going to fix that, okay? You got to have I'm going to say this, you need to have a pretty steady hand when doing this. No, it's not going to be right, okay? Now, I got to fix my eyebrow right because I was trying to show y'all how to do y'all's with y'all that have hair. I had to flip my mirror, y'all, because I couldn't see what I was doing that way. Okay, see that? Okay, now, let me fix that spot right there, okay. Now, when you go in with your angle brush, or you may Some people like to use an angle brush, like I do, when you're doing your eyebrows. Or you can use a brush like this, which is a Sigma concealer brush. It's a 175 Sigma concealer brush, okay? I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this brush at all. I've seen the girlies on here, honey, and the makeup artists. They can use these things and it looks so good. Not me. Not me. I'm going to use this here little bitty brush right here. Then here right here. And I'm using the Tan Sand because it's the lighter concealer. And all I do is tap my angle brush on that concealer doe foot, and I come right about here and I start my line. And remember I told y'all I had came down too far. I got it thick down here. See how thick I got that? I don't wet it like that. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna try and drag as much as this product over. And I'm going to overcompensate. Gotta give me a little bit more, y'all. See how thin I got that at the end down there? And then I take what's remain with the remainder of what the concealer that's there, and I bring it down some over the area I'm going to be putting my eyeshadow. Okay? Now, if y'all are not going to wear what is it called? The eyeshadow, or you don't want it to be this light in this area, you don't have to. I'm going to show you what you can do. Let me wipe my brush off. Try and find a concealer that is a little darker. Do I have any? That's a little darker. I meant to have this already out, y'all. I don't think I have. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have one right here. I use this Morphe. Okay, this one that's a little bit darker. I think it's a little bit dark. Yeah, it's a little bit dark. What I'm trying to say is find one that's almost flesh tone, okay? And you come here at the very end, and you're going to finish out your brow like so. And then you're going to bring that down. And all you're going to do is blend that into what's there. Like that. Because you may just want to put some powder on your eyelids, set this concealer, and let it go. You might just want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I doubt if I'll ever do that because my eyelids are so oily. That oil been took a while. And then I go in with my sponge and I just tap just a little bit because the concealer that I use, now the one I just put on this end down here, it's not matte. But that concealer that I used here, it's a matte concealer. It's going to dry down. The longer it sit there, the more it's going to dry, okay? And I'm just going to do that for now. I'm going to come back and I'm going to put some more on there, okay? I'm going to do this other. Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, after getting them all filled in and all shaped out and everything, I go in with a spoolie. This is what you call a spoolie. Somebody asked me, Twinkle, what are you calling a spoolie? This is a spoolie. It's the same thing that you would use that they have in the mascara one. It's just a mascara one. It's a spoolie. And I go through and I don't go all the way up in my eyebrows. Sometimes you will see me, if my hair look like it's out of, whack, I'll go through and I'll do that with the spoolie. But I try not to because it'll take my pencil off my brow. Y'all that have brows, have hair, you ain't got to worry about that. It'll stay. But anyway, I go in and this very blunt end right here, that's not the way your natural brows would be. That's why I never got my brows tinted or tattooed on, because they always do it wrong. Anyway, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take that line out. That's all I'm going to do, take that line out, just like so. See how much better that one looked than that one? Now, it's not going to be this long, baby. When I get ready to put my makeup on and everything, I'm going to go right up through there, and that's going to take that off. Right now, I'm finna look like I have a unibrow, and I don't. So, I'm just letting y'all know, because people be wondering. Because I used to do the same thing. This is just my way of making both of them level. Making it both of them is almost twin sisters, but they ain't. They really infertile twins. Did I say that right? Infertile twins. Baby, don't worry about it. Anyway, I go through there, and sometimes I take my sponge and I'll do this. Because you can just tap and tap, and you can take a lot of it off, just like so. See that? Take a lot of it off, just like that. Okay. Now, what you're finna see me do is, you're finna see me put some mascara on my eyelids, because I have dark eyelids, okay? I'm finna put some, more. Did I say mascara? I meant to say concealer. I'm gonna put some more concealer on my lids. And like I always told you, the rule of the game is, whenever you put down a cream, you need to put a powder over it to set it. That's what I do. Some makeup artists do not set their eyelids with this concealer, because they want glitters and certain pigmentations to stick. But I'm not using no glitters. I'm not using none of that stuff, so I don't do that. I try to set mine because oils would come through, like I said. I don't want to sound redundant, but I'm going to sound redundant because I need y'all to get what I'm saying. Oils will come through on my lid, okay? So I just tap that in and get that as even as possible. And before your eyelids start to crease, if you have old eyelids like mine, or hooded lids like mine, you need to go on right quick. As soon as you get through doing this, and keep your eyes down, and get your powder brush for your setting powder, and you set where you put that at, okay? And go all over that lid and set before it wrinkle and crease up. Well, before it crease up, not wrinkle up. I'm a double set on mine. Y'all don't have to do this. Okay. Put that out of my way. And what I'm using today is MAC again, eyeshadows. I have one that's called Bright Response. And the only reason why I'm putting this Bright Response on today, and a lot of people will tell you don't wear the same color eyeshadows as the clothes you have on. I am. I do what I want to do. I'm grown. I do what I want to do. Can't nobody tell me what to do. Anyway, Bright Response is a pretty orange. It has just a little shimmery in it. But it's really I thought it was a matte color when I bought it, but it's not. It just has just a little shimmer. It don't have a lot of shimmer in it. And the shimmer is not a shifting shimmer. It's just a little sheen to it, okay? I'm going to put that on the lid here. Excuse me, y'all. And I'm going to use a blush on my eye. I'm going to use a blush. This is called Raisin by MAC, okay? I'm going to put this in my crease and my outer area here, okay? So that's what I'm going to start with. And I have a Morphe M33 brush that I'm using. This is the Morphe M33 brush, okay? And I'm going to just swerve in this blush with that brush. And I'm going to start on my outer portion of my eye. And I go in circular motions. And then I'm going to start flicking. Whatever is left on there, I'm going to flick it out like so. Then I'm going to start going into my crease. And I'm only going to go halfway in my crease today, okay? Only going to go halfway. And I'm going to do a little bit more because I want to build it. You want to build and you want to take your time with it, okay? I told y'all this is going to be a long video today. But that's only because I'm explaining it and trying to get it properly explained as well as I can. And I'm still going in my circular motions with my brush. I try to hold it down here at the very end because that's where you're supposed to hold your brush. But sometimes these little fat hands, honey, just grabs this brush. And I got carpal tunnel, so I be trying to hold on to it. I don't be wanting it to fall. I added a little bit more on my brush, y'all. And now I'm going to go up with what I have left. I'm going up this way with it, okay? See if I can get a little bit closer so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm just blending that blush right on into that brow bone right there. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going all the way up. I'm just blending it to make sure there's no line of demarcation there. Because you don't want to be able to see where it started and stop it. Okay? If you ever took art or something like that, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Even when you're dyeing your hair. I know y'all done seen people with dye on their hair and they have that line going around their head. Pop. And look like they done had a head on there. That's a line of demarcation. What we do in the cosmetology world, we will go through. If somebody say, I want it to be blonde on top and I want it to be brown on the bottom or something like that, or they want more highlights on top than they do on the bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the top. We're going to lighten that top. And by the time we feel like this has reached its level of color, we start blending it down into that darker part. That way, you will not see that line of demarcation. That's the same way with a haircut. A lot of people say that I have an artistic thing about me. I do. I know how to draw, and I know, and I've been doing hair for over 35 years. So I do have a level of artistic ability, okay? And with that being said, that you can apply that to anything in life. Don't make me get happy on here with y'all here. You can apply what I just said to anything in life, okay? It's levels that you go. And as you get to that level, you don't forget the level that you was at before. That's a word. You don't forget the level that you was just at before. You just stepped up to that level, you know. Sometimes when you step, what you do, you got one foot that you stepping up at a time, right? So when you come back, I ain't finna start preaching because I had to went into preaching. Well, anyway, I'm going to finish what I'm saying. When you step up that one step, what you got to do, you got to eventually carry that other foot up before you can go to another step, right? Sometimes, you have to go back down that step a little bit, honey. Because what if that knee feel like it's about to give out and you have to be like, ooh, let me start back over. And you have to step back down and step back up, step back down, step back up. It's all right. It's all right. Because you're still reaching. You still see what you're trying to reach, okay? Now, back to what I was saying. Because I had them veered right, not left, right. Okay. Anywho, what I was saying was you would have a line of demarcation, but you see how blended that is? I started off darker here, and I just took that brush and I blended it. Took my time and blended it right on into here and that brow bone area. And it looked like I got a whole nother shadow up there, and I don't, okay? Next, what we're going to do, what we did to one eye, we're going to do to the other eye. Excuse me. Okay. We're going to start in the corner, right here. So you're going to place that right here on that outer edge of that eye. You're going to feel that brush right as that eye open right there, okay? See where I got it? And then all you're going to do is place right now. You're just placing it right there. And then you're going to circle right there where you at. It's just like a storm. They say that storm be sitting there and it just be circling in that one spot. That's what you're doing. Then you're going to add a little bit more to your brush if you have to. And you're going to flick it. And then you're going to start going into the crease. You're going to start going into that crease. You only go halfway. Remember I told you? You're going to only go halfway so far. And then you're going to come back to where you were. And you're going to flick back out again, okay? If you have to, look back at the other eye to see what you did so that you can come back and do the same thing over here, okay? I just tapped it and add just a little bit more. And all we're finna do now is going into that crease, and we're going to take it up to the tip part of this brow right here, okay? And now, all we're finna do is blend. Whatever's on that brush, you just finna circle and circle and circle and blend. That's all you finna do. And you do that until you get it blended, okay? Remember what I say, you do this in life. You don't want that line of demarcation now. There you go. See it? And you're going to see more on here because this eye is hanging. That hooded eye, it hangs a whole lot more in this area than it does over there. Now, I'm going to do just a little bit to try to make it almost match. And that's all you have to do. You know, you have to go in and you have to look back at it. And then you come back. And if you had any of my customers on here, my customers used to ask me, Twinkle, why when you cutting our hair, you looking in the mirror? Because whenever I'm working, I need my mirror to be on the right side of me. So if I'm cutting their hair with a clipper or something, I just don't. I look back at their head like this, and then I come back, and I blend some more. I bag up a little bit, and I may look in the mirror. Because sometimes when you look off at something, you look way off at something, you can see it better. So that's what I do. So we're doing this eyeshadow. You sit there and you look back, then you come back at it. I got a magnifying mirror here, baby. And I have to flip that mirror. That's why I be telling y'all gonna see my mirror flipping and stuff. That's what I have to do. I have to do that. Because over them years of doing that hair, baby, looking at that hair, trying to blend every little piece of that hair. And some of y'all got, not 4C, but negative. Not negative. 18C hair. And it be hard for me to get that blended perfectly. This is a comedian show too. Okay, I'm back. I was preaching a few minutes ago. Now I'm talking about folks' hair being bad. Anyway, that's me. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn me after a while. I'm telling you now. Anyway, we've been going to the Bright Response, and we're just gonna put Bright Response where you see this concealer right here. We're gonna put Bright Response there. Okay. So at this point, you're going to use a packer. Lord, I'm about to drop the thing. You're going to use an eye packer brush. And this is a packer brush. One that's kind of thick and more dense is what it is. Because, see, the one I just used, watch how little that is to move. See how little that is to move there? But see, this here brush, it's not easy to move like that. It's thicker and it's denser. So you're going to take your brush and you're going to get your desired amount. Most of the time, I do more than what I need. I get more on there than what I need, honey. But MAC colors are MAC shadows are very, very pigmented. And I just go in and I put that on there. I try not to do too much at one time. But I try to do that, and then you'll see me do that like that. I'm putting it right there in that little crease area right there, okay? Now, let me show you something else, something to do. I think I showed you this on the last video I had. Whenever you want a color to grab and be more pigmented, one of these sheen or shimmer colors, you're going to put the color on your brush, like so. You're going to take your setting powder, your setting spray, and you're going to spray your brush. Just tap it. Spray it. Don't wet it down. Just spray it a little bit, okay? And then you're going to put it on there. Look how that just came on there. You saw that? Saw the difference? See the difference? See how much better that showed up? Y'all excuse my stomach making all these different noises. Honey, I'm going to get you some food. Honey, you ain't got to embarrass me like that. Just embarrassing food. Now, I'm going to show you another thing I do. You'll see me sometimes come here with my finger. I rub that finger on that stuff, honey, and put it on there like that. And you'll see me put it on my eye. And that's the same thing. That's the same thing that packer brush does. It gets that color and it picks it up. And you can see it better. You know. That's pretty. Just like that. And basically, all you have to do then is take your brush that you did the first color with. And this is what I do. What I say, line of demarcation. I go in and I go right at where I stopped that orange, that Bright Response. And I just go in and I rub right on that line part of it. just right on the line part. Because I don't want that to be so pronounced. I want it to be blended. See that? That's easy. That's real easy. I know y'all saying, I can hear you. And I know one of them is Tanya. Tanya on here talking about, you always talking about that's easy. And that just because you know what you're doing and stuff. That's easy. I done put it on that brush. And I sprayed it. And you just going to put it right where it's concealer at right now, okay? And just so that I don't take all day, I'm going to put it on this finger. And I'm going to put it on. Wait a minute, I put it on the wrong hand, child. Put it on the wrong hand. See that? It's on. We're going to take the blending brush and we're going to do the same thing we did to the other eye. We're going to do it to this. Now, we got that done. And next, what I do is I'll check to see if I have any fallout. I don't. I just got a little concealer down here, which that don't make a difference because I'm finna put some down there. And I'll go in with my mascara. Let me get some of this. Okay, now next what we're going to do is we're going to apply my makeup because I had someone ask me about applying the concealer first or the makeup first. It really doesn't matter. It all matters on how you feel that day and everything. It really doesn't matter. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to apply my makeup. I'm not going to put makeup right here. I am going to bring it up here a little bit because I need extra coverage today. Okay. So I'm going to use my Revlon Color Stay. That's so dirty looking. Let me clean that off a little bit. You gotta have your stuff together, Twinkle. Let me get that off there so it'll look a little presentable. Y'all, my neighbors making all kind of noise. I surely hope y'all don't hear it. But they are noisy today. Okay. Now, I can show it to you. I have my Revlon Color Stay in the shade, I think it's 520 Cocoa. Okay. And I shake it up a little bit because it's been sitting there. And I'm going to apply this to my face. Just like so. And y'all, I don't know the name of this brush. What's the name of this brush? Oh, it's made by Makeup Geek, but it's just a dense makeup brush. It's a little stained. It's clean, but it's stained. But it's by Makeup Geek. And I just take my brush. I take my brush and I just do my makeup. I flick it down on my forehead. I don't put that much makeup on my forehead because I use a lot of bronzer up there. Anyway, we're going on down here. Cover up what needs to be covered mostly. And somebody say, you use that, what they say? Oh, I'm trying to think of what the girl called this makeup. She said, you use that white folks makeup. I say, when makeup became white people or black people makeup? Now, if they just say it's just for white people, black people, then baby, that's what you do. But look here. Revlon ain't said that. They ain't said that. Baby, I use this Revlon makeup. This ain't no white folk makeup. Now, all of us can use this here. Whites, blacks, whatever nationality that they use, and whatever shade match that they have. They may not even have their shade matching Revlon. But look here. I use it. My favorite makeup, as a matter of fact. My favorite. My perfect match is what it is. Oh, they don't turn that music down out there. What are they doing? They have a party going on out there in the yard? Goodness. Can't even feel. Okay. Remember I told y'all I go up through there with my brush? That's what I do. I go up through there with my brush. And y'all, I could put more on there to cover up my little imperfections, but I'm not doing it because it's not going to be perfect, you know? It's not going to be perfect. Next, I'm going in with my concealer under my eye, okay? Like I say, some of y'all can put concealer here and just right here. I have to use more. And this particular concealer will dry down. This is Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Medium Tan Neutral. And what I do is I let that up under my eye sit for a minute because I want that to be almost dried down. I go up under my nose first, most of the time. because I'm breathing on that area and it's been to dry down real fast. And then I go on top of my nose. See that medium tan neutral? It just, it's the right color for me. Mm-hmm. Okay, and y'all, I'm pinching my sponge because I have to get right in between here. And right down in the crease of my nose right there. Okay. And I'm still trying not to touch that area because it's still wet, okay? So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go in the corner. And I'm doing my mouth like that. It ain't gonna make a difference because them creases still, them wrinkles still there, honey. But I still do it because I have it. And I go right there. Then I come down in between my nose and right there, okay? Okay, I'm still trying to let that dry down a little bit, but I can start on the edge. So I go, what I tell you about the line of demarcation, I go down here and I get that part that's right around there, and I try to blend that out first. And then I go right back up under the eye. So what I'm doing, I'm trying not to touch this area that I really want the most coverage, okay? I try and let that dry almost down all the way. And then I just take my concealer out at a line, at like a 45-degree angle from my eye, that way, okay? And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Gotta maneuver around these moles. And I go out that way. You try to get that line out of there, okay? Being that I have a lot of concealer on my sponge, I'm gonna dab on a paper towel here to try and get as much as that off before I go back and blend in this area, okay? So I'm getting prepared with my powder too. Okay, so now I'm fixing to go in these areas here that I was telling you about. It done almost dried almost down. I'm gonna dab this sponge one more time and I'm gonna go right back in again just to make sure I'm not adding extra. And then you'll see me go to this part of my sponge and I come up around the sides like so. Because what I'm doing, I'm trying to blend that line that I had where I carried that out. I'm blending that out from over there, okay? And I'm going back where I had already started blending on my forehead because you don't want it to crease. And down here and in your smile line. You don't want none of that to crease. After I do that, you're going to see me go right back up under my eyelids, my eyes, before I place powder. Because when I start placing that powder, I'm going to do it kind of quick, okay? And yes, I'm doing a lot of powder because I had a lot of oil. So I'm setting it down pretty good with that powder. Yeah. Y'all don't have to use that much. If you're not oily like I am, and yes, I put oil on my face, but that's what you're supposed to do after you done cleanse your skin and everything. You have to go in and put that oil on there. Now, what I'm finna do now, I'm fixing to contour, okay? What I'm finna do with my contour is, I went a little bit low with this powder. Wait a minute. I'm using a damp sponge to kind of get some of that powder. Set that powder in right there, right quick. I forgot I was going to use a liquid contour. And then I may not even use that liquid contour since I put so much powder. Because if you're going to do a liquid contour, you really need to do it right away after you done put that concealer on. I'm not a liquid contour person all the time. So, with that being said, I'm pushing this powder in a little bit up under my eye. This is not the powder I usually use if I'm going to church or something like that. Although you may see me use it sometimes. It just all depends on um, how much coverage I want and how I want it to dry down or how I want to look that particular day. Okay. Anyway, the powder that I was using was that good old cheapo. That was some cheap air spun. That's what I used. Now I'm finna get my Juvia's the bronze palette, and I'm going to contour with that. And what I do is I swirl in both. You'll see some girls, they do their contour up here. I don't. My natural darkness is here. And I place it and you'll see me flicking my brush. Then you're going to see me swirling my brush. Because at that point, I'm bringing it down and I'm blending. I'm bringing it on down toward that way, like that. And I'm blending it at that point. I place first and then I blend, okay? That may look like that's pretty heavy. Don't worry about that because we have something that's called the Great Eraser. I'm going to swirl again and I'm going to do the same thing on this side that I did on this side. And I put it here on my forehead. And I place it here on my forehead. And then you'll see me meet these two. And then you'll see me go across. This is why I don't put that much makeup on my forehead. And then I'm going to start flicking it down this way. Whatever is left on here, you'll see me do this. And that's about all I'm going to do with it. Excuse me, y'all. Sometimes I come in this area and I just put a little bit what's on there in that area. I'm still trying to blend a little bit, y'all. Wait a minute. Next, I'm gonna set my face with my NC45 MAC Studio powder. Excuse me. When I set my face with this, that's going to help that whitish looking cast with my powders. The other thing that's going to help with that is my setting spray once I'm finished. Okay. I'm gonna go under my eye with it a little bit. And I'm not rubbing hard. Okay. It may look like it, but I'm not. I'm not rubbing hard at all. See the difference in this side and this side? Can you see it? Okay. Now you see why I say don't worry about that cast and how they look. Because when you start coming in and you're finishing with your stuff and pulling your face together is all you're doing. Pulling it together. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Next, I'm going to use my Micro Smooth in the shade Ebony. Some of y'all might be saying, oh, that's a lot, that's a lot, that's a lot. Well, babe, I like to be snatched. I don't care what day of the week it is. It don't matter to me. I like to be snatched. Okay. Now, after we do that, I'm going to go in with my blush. And I was going to use, y'all, I was going to use this blush by MAC, but it's a clay blush. I don't want to mess my makeup up. I'm going to try and put it on with the makeup brush. Okay. It didn't mess it up. I just know I had put that powder on. And put a little sheen on there. I might not even have to use my, no, I'm still gonna use my, what is called my, it's supposed to be called a bronzer, but it's a natural sheen bronzer. It's not the bronzer like the one I put on by Juvia's Way. I haven't used that.